Just take us back to the moment that you met Mohamed Al-Fayed.
Gosh, it was over 35 years ago. I just started working at Harrods. One fine day, I was stacking the shelves and he stopped and he looked at me and he turned around to one of his men, his entourage, and said, "Take her name down." I then got a phone call to my department to ask me to go up to the chairman's office. And of course, I was filled with fear. I was ushered through to this big room. All I remember were these massive armchairs, and he was there. And that was really my first contact with him in his office. He basically came towards me, and he opened up my suit jacket, and he grabbed my chest. And then he grabbed my face. He has this habit, I've now realized, of how he likes to grab people's faces and just kiss you very aggressively on the face. And I was just so stunned. I remember saying to the manager at the time, I said something to the effect that I think he'd been very inappropriate with me. And she just turned around to me and she says, "Oh, you don't need to worry. He only goes after blondes."
Rachael, I mean, you were also spotted by Mohamed Al-Fayed and then handpicked to go and work in his brother Salah's office.
I received a call from the director of HR at Harrods and was offered a position, or an opportunity, I should say, to go onto the executive management training scheme. As part of that, my contract there, I was supposed to go for a medical.
And this was a sexual health check, wasn't it, that you'd had to go through?
Absolutely. My results were passed on to the chairman with a letter describing personal details about me.
And you ended up working in Mohamed Al-Fayed's brother's office, didn't you?
There wasn't an office. So I was sent to Park Lane, to the Hyde Park residences, and one evening he brought out some paraphernalia that I thought was just sort of more just pot or something along that lines. I questioned what it was, and he just says it's hubbly bubbly. An assault happened there because of the effect of those drugs. Not long after that, I was sent to Monaco, and my passport was taken at the beginning of that trip and retained by Salah for the remainder of my time there. It was very difficult to have conversations with my flatmates at the time that I had confided with because my phone, my Chiswick phone, was bugged.
And what happened in Monaco?
So one evening, I was asleep. Don't know how long I'd been asleep for. And I felt a movement on my bed. And Salah was climbing into my bed. Complete and utter panic set in. And I mumbled something about, like, "What are you doing?" And he said, "I'm lonely." And my fear response was just to go completely stiff. Morning finally came, thank goodness, and he got up and he left.
Why do you think that questions need to be asked in a public inquiry, not just of an individual who is now dead, but an institution?
There are still people that are alive today that were complicit in this. It is an organization, then wherever they had their hands touching, there was an assault. What happened to me was a clear case of trafficking, and I know that there are other women that suffered the same fate.
And Shanta, what do you say to people who say that an inquiry will just drag this process of trying to get justice out?
The only way we're going to get any justice and answers is through a public inquiry. You know, compensation schemes can still go ahead, civil claims can still go ahead. The public inquiry is not going to stop that. Compensation on its own without an inquiry is going to get us nowhere. It's just a big PR scheme for Harrods.
There is a whole host of injustices that we suffered that the scheme is just trying to gloss over.
Do you hope that that scheme could be taken out of Harrods' hands? I mean, what would you want to see?
I would like the inquiry to come first.
Even if that delays your compensation?
Even if it delays the compensation. It's not about money, it's about justice. It's about people who every single step of the way when they had the chance to do the right thing, did not do it.
What does justice in this horrendous case mean for you?
The enablers are brought to task, that the truth is brought forward so that everybody can see exactly what happened, and that some meaningful change will happen at the end of this.
Rachael, Louw, Shanta, Sundarason, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, with regard to the calls for a public inquiry, the Home Office told Channel 4 News, as the Met's investigation is still ongoing, we won't be commenting at this stage. Harrods said previously it would not stand in the way of survivors in their pursuit of justice in any form. The Harrods redress scheme is to offer financial and psychological support to survivors of sexual abuse, who we urge to seek legal representation to ensure they receive 100% of their damages within the scheme. And if you have been affected by the contents of my report, you can go to channel4.com/support.